All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. My name is Karl. This is episode 19, and I got some stuff on my screen. There we go, got rid of it. This is episode 19 of the EWP. This is our 20 years in the making episode. This is our Rock Austin 3 episode, which actually, unfortunately, did turn out to be, to this day, Stone Cold Steve Austin's last match. And God, that match was absolutely phenomenal. My personal opinion, the best of the series. And this is the Welcome Back Shawn Michaels episode. Shawn Michaels took 5 years of WrestleMania off from 14, and he came back at 19 against Chris Jericho in another phenomenal match. An overall great card there. We're going to try to produce the same thing here today. But unfortunately, as you can see, we have no Tyler Adele again this week. Real quick, just want to read you what he sent me. Al, I thought we were friends. You're an a-hole for sharing where I went last, blah, 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 blah. Here's the part right here. I am absolutely burning up down there now. Do you have any sort of soothing or any type of other recommendations to help me out? I personally don't know, so I'm asking you, the EWP universe, if you could, tweet at Tyler, send him a tweet. There you go. There's his information right there. At Tyler Adele 2, with your recommendations on how to soothe Tyler's pain right now. And please use the hashtag Tyler's butt is burning. He needs our help right now. I can't do it. I've never been in this situation before. On today's show, before we get to our guest, I know this is not John, or not Ryan. Before we get to him, here's the rundown of today's episode. It was Miro Day on Dynamite. Nice little surprise last Wednesday. Roman Reigns with another dominating performance on SmackDown. The Hurt Business took it to Retribution on Raw. Eric Young and Tommy Dreamer went hardcore on Impact. Ryan Joy will once again, he'll be joining us in the next segment to discuss the New Japan, the G1 Climax is starting, as well as the Ring of Honor Pure Championship Tournament is in progress, as well as the NWA is starting up this weekend. We're getting wrestling back here. You can see his article on the Body Slam Brigade, who goes over all that. It was a great read. Please subscribe to that. We'll get into that more a little bit later. We're going to be making our picks for the upcoming week's matches, which is sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe, and it's sponsored by MinutesToBellTime.com. You will see all the names and graphics. And I got that thing again. What am I doing here? You'll see all the graphics and statistics brought to you by MinutesToBellTime.com. We're going to main event the show with Finn Balor winning the NXT Championship, regaining the NXT Championship. This is now his he joins that illustrious list of two-time winners. It's just him, Nakamura, and Samoa Joe. We also have number 28 on my top 30 WrestleMania favorite matches of all time. Ironically enough, it is from 19. So be spoiler alert on that one. There's something soon to come with that. But we're going to curtain jerk the show. Like I said, this is going to be a new face for everybody. But I am excited. We have our NXT UK correspondent, Gary Miheffi, here from across the seas to talk some NXT UK with us. Gary, how is everything going today? Thank you so much. It's late over there. Thank you for staying up.
Well, not a problem. Say it's just turned 11 p.m. here, so you're fine. No, things are good. Really genuinely looking forward. Once I heard, and all wrestling-wise related, once we heard NXT UK was coming back and they were taping again, I thought, this is cool. Here we go. And so there's some brilliant. The studio setup looks amazing. I can't wait. It looks absolutely fantastic what they're doing with Big D Sport and down there. So we're really looking forward to it. It's all been good.
I'm looking forward to it too, Garrett, and that's why we're kicking off the show with it. And they made the announcement last Thursday. Something might be a little bit new to us. I know, with American boxing and UFC, and I think we tried to do a Brawl for All, and I think Impact tried to do some kind of Grand Slam. This whole round thing, apparently it is a British staple. I know on the episode of NXT UK this past week, they had a roundtable with William Regal, Drew McIntyre, and Robbie Brookside. They gave their thoughts on it. Quick thoughts on this coming back and what it meant to you growing up.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, when I started watching which was World of Sport Wrestling back in the day, when it was on ITV, when there only were 2 TV channels, and ITV had it mid afternoon prime time, and this was on, and it was a round based system, and I think everybody kind of, when you see it, thinks, oh, this is old school, this won't work. And actually, I really think bringing it back, and as they talked about with Regal and Brookside and McIntyre, when they're twisting it now and adding like the sports entertainment, as they called it, the new style into these 3-minute rounds, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, I grew up with that, with your Dave Taylors and your Fit Finleys and Mark Rocco and stuff, and as Steve Regal and stuff come into it, and even Owen Hart and Bret Hart would have been across back in the day on their TV. Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. And a young Davey Boy Smith, like that's where they were getting their breaks. I mean, his first break over here was Davey Boy Smith when he must have been about 16, teaming with Big Daddy back in the time. I mean, it was like that was his first go, and that's what I grew up on. That's what I loved. And then all of a sudden, WWE came on and replaced it, and it all became the Razzmatazz. But that side of it, the 3-minute round stuff, is absolutely brilliant. It doesn't break the flow at all of the match. It just really helps it build. It's unbelievable. Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And there's fans, just real quick, just be sure so you know, he's not faking an accent here. He's not from Texas. This is a British accent. He is overseas right now over in England. So we have some legitimate commentators here, some legitimate correspondents. Gary, here are the rules for the Heritage Cup tournament. You said 3 rounds. There's going to be 6 of them. You get 20-second breaks in between rounds. So hopefully, you know, we were talking about this pre-show. That's not going to kill the momentum too much.
No.
That's a worry for some people. You got to win 2 falls to win a match. Pinfall, submission, count out. A fall is earned, the round ends. If it goes all 6 rounds, if it goes the distance, whoever has the most falls wins. I'm interested to see what happens if there's a tiebreaker with a 0-0 or 1-1. I kind of get a feeling that's how it's going to happen once, I think, in 7 matches. Gary, are we missing anything here?
No, I mean, that's all perfect. I actually thought it was really cool when Regal and Brookside and McIntyre were talking. When you listen to Robbie Brookside, he was really saying for the wrestlers, like, use the rounds to build the match. You kind of build it and build it and build it so that for the fans, you're almost going, right, might it end in 3 minutes? Yeah, it might. But you know what? You might get 18, 20 minutes of what's going here and just completely building, and with the little breaks in between to allow you to go up, bring it down, go up, bring it down. That's what he was saying. I mean, it really was saying that. And as Regal said, for the guys, it's all about their conditioning, because they are potentially going to have to go 15, 18 minutes. And with it being the style, like some of the guys who are in it, with what their style is, it's not like some of the old UK style where it was a lot of mat-based and a lot of holds. There's going to be a lot of flying in this. I mean, this could be 15, 18 minutes of just go, which is just going to be amazing to see on TV. It'll be brilliant.
I can't wait for it. You said, we mentioned there's going to be 8 guys competing in this tournament. They announced those as well this past Thursday. Flash Morgan Webster, that's my guy, Noam Dar, right there, the Scottish Supernova. He's going to be my pick. I'm probably going to be dead wrong, but I don't care. I'm going to ride Noam Dar to the end. Alexander Wolf's going to be in it, representing Imperium. He is Walter's right-hand guy. A-Kid, Bomber Day Mastiff, Joseph Connors, who was in the original NXT Championship tournament all those years ago, along with Trent Seven. But then there's those question marks. I have 2 guys in mind, Gary.
Okay.
Is this finally CM Punk?
Well, see, it's actually me. I just don't want to say anything.
We have breaking news here on the official.
Teacher Gary Mahaffey, that's what it is. I'm just going to come in.
But in all seriousness, my second, I don't want to spoil whatever. This is just off the top of my head. If this is not Pete Dunne, I don't know who it is.
I know. I mean, as I say, I have 2. I don't know, and I purposely, as I said to you before the show, I purposely didn't ask. Pete Dunne is one, because it needs to be somebody of a name. There has been a rumor going around that they want, they're going to try and get Harry Smith to come across and be quite a big thing in NXT UK. But because of how it is at the minute with all of the travel and stuff, I don't think it's. I genuinely don't think it's him, and that he's coming across. So I genuinely do hope that it would be Pete Dunne. I really do hope. I think it needs to be somebody with enough of a name that that the local fans and the international fans who are watching, who will know him from NXT TV, from his time with Matt Riddle and stuff. I think that if it's him, that this could really. And when you look at the 8, like there are some tremendous, like there's some unbelievable wrestlers in that. Like the matches should just be off the chart. Like it really should be.
Yeah, like we haven't seen Pete Dunne since relinquished half of the NXT Tag Team Championship as part of the Broserweights. Matt Riddle is just something I love. He's Broserweight. He had to relinquish it. Actually, it ended up being Timothy Thatcher. We all know how that turned out. But yeah, I mean, the reason for it is he's stuck overseas. I mean, during this whole pandemic times, he was over there. So everybody misses him. My wife actually brought him up the other day. Where's the guy with the knee tattoo? That's his kind of, she kind of forgets names every once in a while, but she'll describe a guy. Actually, no, I believe she described him as the guy that wears the belt in his mouth. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But we all miss Pete Dunne. I mean, and I think we got robbed of Pete Dunne versus Matt Riddle because of this. And I've been wanting that, Pete Dunne's vicious with fingers. Imagine what he can do with toes,
He is he is unbelievable. I do have to say, I've seen him live a few times, and he's brilliant on TV, but when you see him live and you just go, you are the man. Like, he is unbelievable. He's just fantastic. Now, I do hope, I have to say, if I'm picking, my fingers are crossed for Flash Morgan Webster, who is, again, is unbelievable. So I'm pinning my hopes on him. I hope he's going to take it. I have a sneaking suspicion Alexander Wolf, just so that they could do Alexander Wolf holding that from Imperium, and then maybe if Walter keeps the belt, that you've got the two of them kind of might mix it up at some point down the line. But if I was a betting man, I'd go Flash Morgan Webster. So
okay, so I got high hopes for Pete Dunne, but my money, I don't mind losing it if I'm betting it on Noam Dar. I mean, that guy, he's just going to be so obnoxious if he wins that thing. It's going to be absolutely hysterical. And speaking of Walter, the last time that we saw NXT UK, it was way back in April 2nd to be exact. It was a Thursday. It was the Thursday before WrestleMania, so it was actually kind of fun going back, rewatching that, and then seeing the pirate ship. And hearing that song by The Weeknd, that got me so pumped up for that show. And then to just realize what they did to pull off WrestleMania, that's one thing. But that show, it was a quick 3 matches, because that Battle Royal was absolutely phenomenal.
It really was, and like obviously with them replaying it again this week, like the last sort of 10-15 minutes of it, and when you watch that again, you just go, you could see the crowd being into it. But as it just built and built and built, and having Ilya Dragunov when he won it, like he against Walter is gonna be just like, I am the world's biggest Walter fan. I think he is amazing, and I actually know WB. I know Hunter loves him. He would want him across in NXT full time in the States. He just doesn't want to go full time to the States. Yeah. He wants to stay here. But like their match, like seeing that Battle Royal, and then the last as the 4 guys closed that off, like with Tyler Bate in it, and he's another one. Tyler Bate is just like unbelievable. Like to see the way it was all finished off, and you could see, actually it was funny because obviously Shawn Michaels has quite a big hand in NXT UK.
Yeah,
and you could see from the finish of it when Tyler Bate was doing the old skin the cat, and he was starting to come up over the ropes, and Dragunov then hit him with the torpedo Moscow and put him down. It was like, you could see Michael saying this would work, go out, hold on, pull up. So the finish was amazing, and so and considering obviously that was being built, that would probably be, the match would have happened by now. So considering that we're 5 months down the line, the fact that people are still going, oh my goodness, this is going to be an amazing match, is a testament to the two guys and how good they are. So.
Yeah, 100%. And this hasn't been easy for Ilya Dragunov. I tell you what, just in that Battle Royal alone, it was 20 guys to begin with. The final 7 in that match, the 6 that he outlasted, Jordan Devlin, Bomber Dave Mastiff, Noam Dar, Joe Coffey, Alexander Wolf, Tyler Bate. Like, that is, other than Walter, that is the who's who of NXT UK. And Dragunov got him. Like I said, Tyler Bate went to skin the cat, Torpedo Russia, and he's out. Even before that, you can kind of see. Let's rewind to January at Worlds Collide. They could have put anybody against Finn Balor on that card. Joe Coffey, like I said, all the guys I just mentioned, Joe Coffey, Alexander Wolf, Tyler Bate had a match, but they went with Ilya Dragunov to go against Finn Balor. So it seems like they're very high on Ilya.
Well, they really are, and rightly so. I mean, he is a phenomenal talent, and he was one of these guys actually at first, even the like of A-Kid, who hasn't had much chance. I mean, A-Kid's amazing, but for Dragunov as well, I thought, okay, they're bringing him in. He has like a cult following, but will it transfer to the main sort of fan base? And boy, has it ever! It really has. Yeah. I really think that people will get behind him massively.
It's a weird time when we're cheering for Russians, Gary. Let me tell you that. I mean, Nikolai Volkov, Nikita Koloff, Ivan Koloff, Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago.
You're rooting for Russians. What is going on here? So that's going to be, whenever that happens, I'm going to be excited to see it. I can't wait. Ilya Dragunov challenging Walter for the NXT UK Championship. On the women's side, actually, there were two matches on that last episode. One was the return of Xia Brookside, and that's my girl. The daughter of an NXT trainer, and she's in love with the business. They were saying she took time off to train. She's back in there. She had a nice win over Amal. And then the other one, which is what we're going to lead into for next week, it was Kaylee Ray. She teamed with Ginny, and they defeated the team of Piper Niven and Danny Luna, and it stemmed right into the feuds right before we left. It was Piper Niven going after that belt.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very, very fortunate that having seen, like, there was an all women's show over here in Belfast a couple of years ago, and some of these ones were on it, and Xia Brookside was on it when she was only just having broken into the business, and you could see how much she loved it and how much she was really putting the hours in. I'm a massive Piper Niven fan, like Viper, as people over here would know her. Okay. She is tremendous, and she obviously has had her health issues and stuff, but people absolutely love her. She is superb. She's not necessarily like it being said that she's the nicest girl. She's lovely. She's just a lovely, lovely person. But in that ring, she can go and she would kill you.
And I was wrong. I apologize. I prejudged years ago, and I apologize. When she was in the Mae Young Classic, and Angel, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I couldn't have been more wrong. She made it to she won 2 matches. She made it to the court, and she dominated, and she did it athletically, amazingly, and it just I scolded myself. I judged the book by the cover, and I was completely wrong. And I apologize.
Oh, she is absolutely fantastic, and it must be said, tells some of the funniest stories because she was involved with it. ICW, obviously one of the promotions that's now on the WWE network. Like she's from there, and she's tight with a lot of those guys, and some of their road stories are just, they couldn't really be told on air before I'm not sure what time. But they like it's just brilliant. But she is absolutely phenomenal in the ring, and again, she's another one I think that everybody just wants to get behind and root for. She's superb, absolutely superb.
And then Garrett, we're gonna put you on the spot right now. That match will be next week. If you're back, we'll get your pick on that one.
Yeah.
We have our first promoted match here for NXT UK. And it is the tag team champions. The tag team champions. I do believe this is a non-title match. Gallus is going to go up against Amir Jordan and the Luckian, right? Isn't that his nickname, Kenny Williams?
Yeah. I'm a big Kenny Williams fan. He is again. He's another one that I've seen live who is superb. And I'm gonna go against my better judgment and say I'm going Gallus. I think they're gonna put Gallus over hard, and I think they're gonna go over. It'll be a good match, and I think they're gonna go over and build them. I think they'll bring in a couple of new tag teams. I have my fingers crossed. There's a tag team from Dublin that I hope I would love to see get a chance. I don't know if they are. A couple of guys more than hype. They've done some stuff for Progress. They're amazing. I think eventually down the line, if they're not in, they'll come in. But I think Gallus they're going to run with for a while and build them up for a big match. So I'm going to stick my neck on the line and go Gallus for next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gallus as well. You just get them going strong again. They did show a hype video. Conspicuous by their absence was Grizzled Young Veterans. Are they officially just NXT now, or?
As far as I know, yeah, I think because of travel stuff, they're both home. They are like seriously, as much as irritating as they are, and as annoying heels as they can be. Oh my word, they are super. Oh, honestly, they we were at a show, and he just it's the funniest, it's brilliant because they have the crowd going. They are absolutely amazing, just
The
amazing live.
guy can get people to take their shoes
I
off
know.
because they
Yeah,
hate him and chant in unison. Zach Gibson is absolutely
yeah,
brilliant.
he is superb. He is amazing, just
Okay,
amazing.
Gary. Well, we're gonna call it a day. That was the only match, unfortunately, you had to pick. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for coming on and
not
staying up
not
late.
a
You are
problem.
welcome back any time. Just shoot me an
No.
email. I do believe this is a very long distance phone call to make, so just shoot me an email. And we will have you on anytime you ever want to talk NXT UK. You are more than welcome to. We'd love to have you.
Anytime you want me, my friend, I'm always here. So anytime you want me.
Gary, thanks a lot, pal. Have a good
Not a
night.
problem, buddy. Thank you. See you later.
And Ryan Joy, out of default, you're going to get some Bulldog music too. And thank God for public domain. Because we can actually legally use that song, Rule Britannia. I believe I looked it up. It was 1924. It was originally composed, I believe, for the British Navy. And their copyright expired. So.
Free for you. We can use it.
We can use that. We can use that. We can use Pomp and Circumstance if we ever want to. And I do believe Jerry Lawler's theme is popular. I believe that is some other type of British song there.
Hey, so I'm with you. Noam Dar, I think.
Noam Dar. Oh, Alicia. Oh, like he was gold on Raw. For the short time he's on before he was injured, he was absolute gold. All right. Gary, I see. I got to change your nameplates here. Ryan, we're going to go from the NXT UK. We got a lot of stuff in your direction here. We'll start off with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Real quick, we have new junior heavyweight champions, tag team champions. I believe you had that right. I believe you had Kanemaru and Desperado.
Yeah. As sort of predicted by me last week, giving myself some credibility. Coming off of that summer struggle show where I got no matches right. I'm glad I could call this one. They dominated and got that good victory over Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi, and they're your new junior tag champs. They've been tag champs before. So.
Oh, have they? Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that was their first time. It just seems like with that division, if there's no Yo and Show and there's no Young Bucks now, I mean, it seems like they were champs forever because they were just untouchable as junior. I mean, let alone, in a normal wrestling match, if they're wrestling their weight class, the Bucks are just untouchable in that division.
Yeah.
So that was great. Okay, so good call by you, but we're gonna go right into it. Like I said, the biggest tournament in professional wrestling, the 30th edition of the G1 Climax.
10 guys, 2 blocks, 18 regular shows, and 1 final, all in 30 days. Round robin. It's gonna be incredible.
It is absolutely incredible. We're gonna look at them. We're gonna look at the blocks real quick, Ryan, because you got these. You did these graphics perfectly. This is absolutely amazing. So here goes the A block. I'm gonna remove the New Japan logo so we can reveal Will Ospreay's head. There we go.
Look at this block. It is stacked, and each one of these guys is going to be wrestling everybody. So the main event of the first show in the G1 is Okada and Ibushi. That's a rematch of Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Ospreay will have a good match with every single person here, especially Shingo Takagi. This block specifically is absolutely stacked. I said all that without even mentioning Jay White or Jeff Cobb.
I was just about to say, like, Jay White. You said Jay White, and I believe there was somebody else you said was stuck overseas. I believe it was Kent. The Kent is in the other block. They were able to make it over.
Yeah, I was surprised when they made that announcement. I was hopeful to see some of our, the faces that we haven't seen on New Japan in a while make it into the G1. And it's great. We got Ospreay, we got Jay White, we have Kenta, Jeff Cobb. So it's a good, it's a good batch of people to mix things up from what we've been seeing.
And then here's the other 10 wrestlers. Right in there is the first things that pop out in my head is Tatsuya Naito and Evil. They're going to get at each other again in this.
Yeah, so there's interesting things when you look at Evil. You've got Naito and Evil, obviously, but then you also have Sonata and Evil. Sonata and Evil, many-time tag team champions. So natural rivalries built right in. Night two main event is Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tetsuya Naito. Also, Juice Robinson making his return. We haven't seen him in quite some time.
Yeah.
And then the really fun thing, a couple really fun things about this block. I love a Yano match, especially in the G1 when you have probably 2 straight hours of like really intense wrestling matches. It's great to have a Yano match in there to just kind of put it right up. And then Zack Sabre.
Are you the favorite to win this thing, or what are we doing here? The guy's got a victory over Okada this year. He's got to be the favorite.
So I would say it's easier to look at, okay, who's going to win the A, who's going to win the B? It's tough. It's like, are they going to build a new star or try to build a new star and have, Ospreay go deep into this thing? Mm-hmm. Are they going to have Jay White win? He's never won the G1. Is Naito going to hold the belt all the way to Wrestle Kingdom? There's so many, questions. A block, I think Okada. It seems like he's the strongest.
That's the smart money. The smart money is always on Kazuchika Okada and anything. Like I said, I think I picked him for New Japan. I think I picked him for the other. It's if you lose, it's a monumental upset. Like nobody.
And I think Naito is going to win the B block, but not the finals.
Okay.
So I guess I'm going to pick Okada all the way. And him winning by beating Naito will set up a Wrestle Kingdom match really well.
Yeah, and like I said, he's got the winner of this tournament gets to challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom. For those scoring at home, that is their version of WrestleMania. That's normally 80,000 people in the Tokyo Dome on January 4th every year. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It's always on January 4th. I believe last year it was too big for just one night. They put it on the 5th as well.
January 5th is my birthday, so
nice. There we go.
I hope they do two nights again. That's a good present.
So okay, you're gonna go Okada versus Naito, and then the rematch at Wrestle Kingdom. I'll go with Evil and Okada as the final, right? Evil's in the B block. That A block is maybe Jay White. Have a Jay White versus Evil. You're getting some Bullet Club love in here. Maybe the Bullet Club represents at Wrestle Kingdom. You never know.
It could go a lot of different ways. I think the way we're going to do this on this show is we'll have the blocks, each block, like we just had those same graphics. We'll have the record and the score, and then we'll kind of talk about what the possibilities are.
Yeah, as we go, we got plenty of time to talk about this. So
next 30 days.
Yep. And then we're going to switch gears because like I said, we are another tournament started in Ring of Honor for the Pure Championship. The tournament had some rules. There was 2 matches over the weekend. Here are the updated brackets, and you're right on point right now, Ryan.
That's right. I chose in
the finals, and they won their first 2-round matchups, and that Dalton Castle match was phenomenal.
You know what? I thought both matches were really great. If people haven't had a chance to check this out, I think it's definitely worth your time. Check your local listings to find out when Ring of Honor is broadcast. But they did a nice job of setting up each match with some pre-taped promos from each person. I had no idea who this Wheeler Yuta guy was that was fighting Jonathan Gresham.
I was going to try to play it off like I knew who he was, but I really had no idea.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't know who he was, and then they did this nice pre-taped interview to kind of introduce him to me. And then he had a great match, I thought, with Gresham. So both matches I thought were really, really solid. It's a little weird because we've progressed so far with AEW and WWE being so far ahead in the pandemic era and figuring out how to make things work. Ring of Honor is just kind of starting back up. So I think they have some things to work out, and it's completely nobody there. But the matches I think are really, really good.
Yeah, it's one thing about Ring of Honor is that's it. Like these are the indie darlings. These are the guys. I don't want to say there's no script. It's kind of just like, okay, let's just see what you can do here. and that's what the fans love. Like I said, going with the brackets, we got the next set on each side. David Finlay, there on the left. I believe that is Rocky Romero on the right, if I remember correctly. Yeah, David Finlay and Rocky Romero.
Yep.
The winner of this gets Jay Lethal, correct?
That's right. 2 New Japan guys. And Dave Finlay, we know, just came off a tournament where he made it all the way to the finals. So hard to bet against David Finlay in that match. He'd be my pick.
Yeah, so we just his father was just brought up in the prior conversation I had with Gary. So yeah, we'll just stick with the Finlay theme today. And then the other first round matchup, the winner of this matchup gets Jonathan Grisham. It is Delirious versus the Joker, Matt Sydal.
Yeah, that's right. Matt Sydal knocked Delirious during the AEW All Out show, which if people haven't seen Being the Elite this week, his slip on the top rope was completely explained. Michael Nakazawa.
I saw a thing that they're trying to play it into a storyline, but it happens. You know, it was a hot day in Jacksonville. It was humid. Maybe he stepped on some water before he walked out by accident. There's a million things. Matt Sydal is a great wrestler. I know people are going to always poke fun at him. I don't want to say that fall was as bad as Titus O'Neil, but I mean, Titus O'Neil will always take the cake.
We'll remember it in the same vein. And he's going to win this match. For sure.
Yeah, it's mine as well. Matt Sydal, get him going, and then that'll set up a nice match with Jonathan Grisham in the semifinals.
Yep.
And then you're gonna be going 3 heavy here, 3 companies deep. I know we're not doing NWA Power here. I got the wrong logo, but the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, not Dr. Dre and Eazy-E. I know they're very easily confused. The National Wrestling Alliance is starting back up this weekend too.
They start back up tonight. 9 p.m.
That's right, tonight, and that's it. And we'll just get right into it. I know there's a bunch of matches on the card, but it's all going to come down to the main event.
That's right.
I believe what Nick Aldis, I believe he calls her Sweet Charlotte.
That's right.
The NWA 10 pounds of gold, the NWA Heavyweight Championship, and he will be going against the Miracle Mike Bennett. And the Miracle, I'm a huge Miracle guy. I'm just going all heart, no thought here. I know Nick Aldis has held that championship. Minus a few months, he lent it to Cody, but he's held that championship for a while.
He's had that belt forever. I think the consecutive run right now is approaching 600 days. If it didn't just surpass it. But
Canelo, years ago too, when he dropped it to Cody for that hot minute, just so Cody can run around with it in Ring of Honor and New Japan for a while.
Yep, but you got Mike Bennett, who is coming off his release from WWE. He was Mike Kanellis there, and he has something to prove here. You know, he did a really honest promo that NWA put out on their YouTube channel, and you know he's got to refine himself. He loves pro wrestling. That's what this match is about.
Yeah, and I saw Mike Bennett from Ring of Honor through Impact. I loved his stuff in Impact. I just even when he got away from the whole thing. With Maria for a hot second, because I know it came back because she got pregnant towards the end of their run in WWE. But his run on 205, like he was fitting in nice with those guys.
Sure. Yep.
And it's just the guy can wrestle. I can't. It just blows my mind how they couldn't find something more for him. But I guess Vince is he loves the big guys, and unfortunately Mike Bennett is a little bit on the smaller side. I don't want to get into an Adam Cole conversation yet either.
Well, I think but I think this match will be good. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean,
100%.
The NWA has something to prove, right? They're doing this on a pay-per-view model, so they're not going to. They have confidence in this match because they'll have a curiosity factor tonight where people will buy in, but they've got to keep selling these things. So it should deliver.
All right. So who's your pick? Who do you got? I said I got the Miracle. I believe in miracles.
I'm going to go Aldis. I'm not. I know there's no points on the line here, but
it's not. But still, it's I don't know. Yeah.
But also on that show tonight, Camille is wrestling tonight. She's facing Heather Monroe, who lost to Shida on Dynamite. So she's been on AEW a little bit. Heather Monroe, and then Alexander Hammerstone, who is a mainstay on MLW, is actually competing as well.
All right. Yeah, it should be a great show tonight. Tune in. You got a big night ahead of you between
Yes.
You got AEW Dark, and then we have Impact, and then you have the NWA relaunch. Most importantly for me, I gotta skip it all. You know, I got a big hockey game I got to be attentive for. So unfortunately, the New York Islanders, their backs are against the wall. So is mine. This might be the last time you see me with my guy too. I might be joining the next week if something goes wrong the next couple days.
Well, mine will grow in nice, so that we still keep the right ratio on the show.
All right, so we are going to bring in John DeConnie. Has been waiting patiently in gorilla position. There he is. Unfortunately, the living legend John DeConnie, the first ever PWP champion of the world, or of the internet, or of New Jersey. I don't know what you want to call me. Take that off. Yeah, so we kept you hanging so long. How are things today? Always glad to see you. We didn't forget about you.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, Ryan did the job last week. He had to wait for us to stop blathering for almost 90 minutes. So, by all means, this was nothing. Good to be with you again.
And I believe there's John Smith. John Smith, he's unfortunately not able to be with us today. He has some parental obligations. Might make a last-minute surprise entrant at the end. We're saving NXT for last for him. But if not, John, we miss you too, pal. You know, we will definitely see you next week. Absolutely. And of course, I know you guys were late to the show. If you have any suggestions to help Tyler out with his burning issue in his loins, please, again, anybody. He had a doctor's appointment. He had a colonoscopy. It is on fire down there, I believe is the exact quote he used. Please tweet Tyler Adele at Tyler Adele 2. Apparently the first one was taken already. and use the hashtag Tyler's butt is burning.
I'll reach out to my father. I'm sure he's got some ideas for us.
That's right. Yeah, it's John, your father's a doctor. This will work. So, fun little thing. Out of nowhere, we kind of scoffed at this last week. Well, who do you think the best man is going to be? And we're like, I don't know. Does it matter? Kip Sabian, does it matter? Does it matter? It's whatever. Everything's going on in AEW right now. Like, does this really mount a heel of anything? And guess what day it was? Miro Day! John DeConnie, how happy with you? We're going to get you right out of the box.
I was so happy. I had said, I think the week prior, that I wanted, I was calling with absolutely no background to it, calling Miro as the wild card at All Out. I said, he's going to be my CM Punk. Every time there's a question mark, I'm just going to throw him in there till he shows up because, damn it, I want Rusev back on TV. Got it, buddy.
And he looked good. Ryan Joy, did you see the tweet that he put out? That was like a $2,500 or $2,500 outfit. Disney Gucci, I believe it was.
I did see Colt Cabana's response to that, where his entire outfit cost about $4 or something. But what a promo from him too! Oh my God, they handed him the mic and he just went to task. In a matter of seconds, he really lit Vince up.
Yeah, that's it. No more glass ceiling. If there's ever going to be a company that's elite, then Miro will be a part of it. We're going to be owing a lot of push-ups because it's going to be very difficult. I just stopped saying whatever his name. I'm starting to call him John Moxley. Now I got to do all this all over again. So it's going to be different. But Miro, welcome back, buddy. We've missed you. We love you. Miro Day.
The man is a treasure.
The man is a treasure. The main event of the evening, a match that we kind of saw coming. I know Brody Lee defended the TNT Championship. Ryan, I believe that is his first title defense, right? He defeated Dustin Rhodes.
Correct. First time.
A pretty decent match. And John McConnell, you called it. I'll let you lead with this first because you called it knockdown, drag out, two big hosses, two big boys.
Yes, indeed. Seeing two guys who are legit, I think about 6'6", pull off a destroyer in kind of in a rolling sequence. I mean, God, I love Dustin, and all props to Mr. Brody Lee. that was just an impressive match by two big fellas.
Yeah, and then Ryan at the end, the celebration. After the discus clothesline, Brody Lee hit his. That's going to be his signature now. That discus clothesline knocked Dustin for a loop, got the pinfall. Here comes Colt Cabana. Nope.
No, it's not that.
So,
yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I just said poor Colt Cabana.
Yeah, well, you know what? If it's not going to be Brody Lee, it's going to be me and John Smith because, let's say Colt Cabana is still responsible for our perfect pay-per-view being destroyed last Saturday for All Out. So, the opening contest, very, very phenomenal contest. Jurassic Express and the Lucha Brothers knockdown, drag out. But again, Ryan, here we go. There's this tension, and I like Eddie Kingston. I love that he's around. I love it when he talks. The New York accent, obviously, it just does it for me. But okay, stop making guys kiss and make up here. Let's.
You just want that Lucha Bros and Butcher and Blade feud to just happen.
Well, not even that.
You got the Lucha Bros fighting each other.
Stop making them play. You hug. You're my best friend. You're my best friend. We've been through everything.
Yeah. I mean, unless we're going to get that Pentagon Phoenix match, then I don't want them to break up.
No, I don't want them to go away. Not until they win the tag titles. That's just no way. Absolutely no way.
Yes.
And if they were on Raw, they would have broke up last week and everybody else, John the Con.
Yeah, absolutely. I need some help here from you fellas. The reference that Eddie Kingston made when he was talking to I think Penta, and he said, "Where's your little British friend?" Any idea what that was a reference to? Is that an ex-tag partner or something that he was?
I missed that. Gary's offline. He's already gone. Maybe that's a question we can ask him next week. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah. So again, the Lucha Bros, deliver a good match, even though they took the L. And once again, Jurassic Express only winning when we expect them not to need to win. But a good match nonetheless.
Yeah,
John DeCon, are you trying to spread the rumor that Pac is going to be the 8th man in the NXT UK tournament?
That would be.
There you go, your little British friend from the Death Triangle. I think you've answered my question, sir.
That's it. There you go, Pac. That's right.
Solid.
Death Triangle. And we talked about him in the pre-production too. We talked about the trio.
That's right.
Okay, so
did not dawn on me.
Now, one last thing with Eddie Kingston, though. He mentions I missed this. I didn't even go back and watch it. He wasn't eliminated correctly. He wasn't technically eliminated from that battle royal, John DeConnie?
I don't know. Did Butcher and Blade catch him and he didn't hit the floor? I didn't understand what he was talking about.
I mean, Brian Joy, did you watch it again? I know they were on the turnbuckle. I know that's kind of a gray area.
I watched it twice, and before he made that comment, and I never saw anything that looked like, foul play or anything. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
All right, well, I guess to be continued to that one, because he kind of went, again, with Eddie Kingston, he's just got to go away with that wink, and then see you next week. But as a result, I guess this is as a result of winning that match. And then during FTR's Tag Team Championship celebration, FTR was kind of taking some shots at all the tag teams. I believe they called Jurassic Express, called them kind of like a sideshow act, kiddie act or whatever. That's the first match we talk about now. FTR, I believe this is non-title. FTR is going against the Jurassic Express. John DeConnie, on you, babe, on you.
I want to say this is where Jurassic Express pulls one out that we don't expect and earns the title match, but FTR are still undefeated, so I don't see it. So I'm going to go with FTR.
I'm going to go with FTR as well. Like I said, that 0 has got to remain a 0 till they lose the belts, just to give them. I mean, this isn't WWE. If they're going to track undefeated records, Ryan, just like you are.
Yeah.
If they're going to track it, that 0's got to stay in 0 till they lose the title.
It is weird though that they made it a non-title match. That's just, it's like, if it's non-title, why wouldn't you have Jurassic Express win? But I agree with you guys. They got to be 9-0.
Maybe it's a DQ situation. Who knows?
That's weird for them too. Only one in history. So
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, it was the Iron Man match. Pac lost a fall from DQ. That's the only one they've ever had.
Oh wow.
Wow. See, the Elias Sports Bureau of Professional Wrestling, Ryan Joy, minutesofbelltime.com. Subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade. Just the whole 9. Thank you, Ryan.
This man is good.
Karl, my hype man.
Matt Hardy came out. Everything's good to go. He looks good. He sounds good. He's going to be okay, which is a nice little thing. It wasn't anything wrestling related. I think Sammy and I are done wrestling. Yeah, well, you know what? You almost killed each other about 5 times already. I think it's a time for just to keep Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara away from each other. More for Matt's safety. I think Sammy he had the one gash, the one time, compared to what Matt went through between the chair shot to the head and the concussion. But Matt's going to be okay. Matt Hardy will not die. I believe that's been his phrase for about 15 years now. So good for Matt. Thank you. We love to see you. Glad you're okay. Orange Cassidy had his first match post Mimosa Mayhem, Ryan Joy, against the guy that hasn't been on Dynamite in a very, very long time, and I was so happy to see Angelico back on TV.
Yeah, TH2 has been they've been on Dark a little bit, but mostly in singles matches. They've only had, I think, one tag match since they've been back. Those guys are fun to watch.
They're awesome. Lucha Underground graduates right there. That's where I know Angelico, and that's where I know Jack. They weren't a tag team in Lucha Underground. Well, they didn't have tag teams. They had trios down there. But Jack Evans was running around with Johnny Mundo and PJ Black in the Worldwide Underground. Jack Evans fit perfectly in with those two.
They're fun to watch. So
John DeConnie, post-match, after Orange Cassidy hit the Superman punch, Santana and Ortiz came out. They started beating up on Orange Cassidy, which led to the Best Friends to come down. Santana and Ortiz hit the high road. Long story short, they had a conversation. And we have a parking lot fight, which is going to end the feud between the Best Friends and Santana and Ortiz. I believe it was the Dynamite before All Out. Santana and Ortiz got the win. Weren't they wearing those Yankees pants or jumpers, Wompers, whatever you want to call them?
Yeah.
So, John DeConnie, who do you got in the parking lot fight? Or is there even going to be a winner? And does Trent's mom have a new car?
that was my angle right there. For the virtue of Trent's mom's minivan, I'm gonna go with Best Friends.
Ryan Joy, who do you got?
I picked Santana and Ortiz last time. I'm gonna pick them again this time. I just think they need to get a string of wins together and go for those tag titles. They have not had an opportunity yet.
No, they haven't, and I think Santana Ortiz versus FTR would be absolutely amazing, and John Smith would love a little heel-on-heel action right there. I'm not sure. They said Santana Ortiz. I know this isn't WWE. I just made that point, but I feel like this is the buyback and win. I think Best Friends were made to win this. They're motivated now. Like Santana and Ortiz before, they were on the offense. They were the aggressors. They were the one bleaching and destroying cars and whatever.
Yeah, could be happy ending.
Now, I think the Best Friends get the final nail in the coffin here, so I'm going to go with the Best Friends on that one. They had 2 interviews during Dynamite last week. One was Hangman Page sitting down, and he was dejected, very upset that they lost the tag team championships. Don't worry, Kenny and I will get back together. We'll work it out. We're the greatest tag team in the world for 100 and whatever days. We're going to be okay. Then you fast forward to an interview in the ring with Kenny Omega. I'm done. I'm going on singles action. So it doesn't even lead to a Kenny Omega match. Actually, Hangman Page is going to be up first. Ryan Joy, he's got Frankie Kazarian of SCU. Hangman Page 1-0 this whole entire time. What were they? 17-0 as a tag team. It's going to be his second singles match of the season.
He only got that one victory recently too against Allen Angels. I was shocked when I was doing those stats. I'm like, wait. Did I have him coded as somebody else? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, one singles match all year, victory over Allen Angels. his second singles victory is against Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, it's tough to. I don't see any interference yet from Kenny Omega. I think this is I guess Sean Nakani, what they call in the wrestling world a slow build.
Very.
John Nakani, I believe you're. Oh, yeah, well, you got muted.
Oh, there you go. That was on me. I had somebody knock on the window. So. Yes, definitely a very slow build, as this whole thing has been. Like I've been saying from the beginning, I don't think they knew what they wanted to do in breaking them up. I'm not sure they still know what they want to do, and eventually getting around to, God willing, putting them together in one-on-one. So anyway, I'm gonna go with Hangman in this match against Kaz. I almost hope that he loses and it circles him down darker and darker and sadder, but I think they're gonna give him the win here.
Yeah, completely agree. I gotta start this off. Slow build.
I'm very excited for the Omega singles run, though.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone's looking for. I said if he's starting to turn into the cleaner, Bullet Club Kenny, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we joke around, we poke fun at the stars and everything, but we're not really taking shots at Kenny Omega at all. Like, he's phenomenal. So please don't take what we're saying the wrong way here. When Kenny Omega all of a sudden has a 53-star match, it's not kind of poking fun at Uncle Dave and not Kenny Omega.
Well, when they announced that Dynamite upcoming that has just one match on it and it's Kenny Omega, it's just going to be a 2-hour match.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine with that.
Jake Hager defeated Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. We are not getting the Chris Jericho versus Sonny Kiss feud that we had hoped for. Instead, after the match, Chris Jericho saying they're going to go for the tag titles. Maybe we should have put this first ahead of that Best Friends versus Santana Ortiz match. You have two teams in the inner circle going for the tag team championships. I don't know, but they're going to continue their journey next week as they got the private party. Ryan Joy, who do you got?
Yeah, inner circle. I mean, it's too early for them to lose. Don't mean to be so brief about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know where that's after the time. I lost the timer on. I lost the clock on the show. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my God. I was going off there for a second. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Yes, well, as brevity is the soul of wit, I shall be brief. Jake and Jericho, baby.
Yeah, there's no reason to say that they're going to go on that tag run. And now it's right when, we we're complaining. We don't complain with, Kenny Omega out of it. But the tag team division like that, the complaint is, why do you need two singles wrestlers
as a tag
team? And we finally got over it.
Yep.
And then 3 days later, we got two singles wrestlers teaming together. We're going to go for the tag. Son of a...
I mean, we all think it's going to be Jericho and Hager, but what a win for Private Party it would be, right? If they just stopped it right there.
Yeah. They just stalled this right away. That'd be an incredible win for Private Party.
Technically a win for Santana and Ortiz.
Yep.
Yes.
Nyla Rose defeated Ty Conti with a beast bomb in Ty Conti's, first official singles match as an AEW elite wrestler. Fun thing I saw on Facebook. I can't believe they're burying Ty Conti again. Oh. You lose one match and you're buried.
To a former champ, no less.
I know, right? Like, this is freaking, just relax. Everyone just needs to relax. Losses, okay, just relax.
Most matches have a winner and a loser.
Yeah.
When you see a match,
even more mad when they don't.
What would they say about Nyla Rose if Tay Conti had defeated her?
Yeah.
Nyla
Rose attacked Tay Conti after the match. Here comes Hikaru Shida with the kendo stick. And it looks like we're circling right back to Shida and Nyla Rose again. This time, Vicky Guerrero will be involved. So hopefully Hikaru Shida can weather this storm. Also, MJF will be in action. We'll put his beautiful face up there. Look at that smirk. You really just want to punch him. He's got that, he's just a natural heel. You just want to punch him in the face.
Very punchable.
He fired his whole campaign, minus Wardlow. Wardlow kept his job. They kind of got into it. Did not realize Wardlow was not an AEW wrestler. Didn't realize he worked directly for MJF. So that's interesting. And then a match, I guess, sticking with the women's division that I didn't know was happening until a couple hours ago. But here we go. Thunder Rosa and Evil East. We're getting some more Thunder Rosa again, and she's putting the women's championship on the line. Her NWA Women's Championship against Evil East. Ryan Joy, as our senior NWA correspondent, this is your championship. This is your jurisdiction. Who do you got?
Well, Thunder Rosa is 5-0 under the NWA banner, 6-1 overall, as the graphic showed. So, Thunder Rosa.
Sounds good. John DeConnie?
Yeah, as much as I'd love to go with La Sicaria here, I'm going to say that Thunder Rosa retains.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Thunder Rosa as well, but the wild card and all this, Diamante's probably going to be lurking around somewhere. I mean, I don't know. I guess the NWA is kind of known. Like I said, we just had that conversation. Nick Aldis dropped the Ring of Honor, the NWA Championship on Ring of Honor, so Cody could, tour the world with it and whatnot. I don't think I can't imagine this being the same situation.
Yeah.
So that will put a bow on AEW. It's going to be a great show on Wednesday night. We'll fast forward through the week and make a stop last night on Raw. A lot of stuff went on last night. It was a great show, but then a lot of stuff went on. Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, they had their rematch after they said they botched an ending. That Ricochet kicked out at 2, but the referee counted 3. They botched another one. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it later. But what a lumbar check by Cedric Alexander, John DeConnie. Wow, did Ricochet bounce high?
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to the well again and say that reminded me a little bit of the way RVD takes a DDT where he seems to spring straight up from his neck. The Ricochet, wow, did he go for a ride on that lumbar check?
Yeah, sold to the man in the black and gold tights.
Indeed.
So Cedric Alexander got the win. Retribution actually spoke again. Does still sound like nails to me. Could be the Shockmaster. It's interesting to see where this one is going to go, John DeConnie. They spoke after Alexander's match, and then the Hurt Business went backstage to the Postman Pierce, offering their services to take out Retribution because they're getting tired of it now. So during the Drew McIntyre Keith Lee match, it was interrupted by Retribution, Ryan Joy, and Rudy, get the Hurt Business out there. Like, I'm sitting there, it's like, where's the Hurt Business? Get the Hurt Business out there. They said they were going to come out and do this, and that's how we ended the show. Here comes the Hurt Business.
The best part is the Hurt Business comes out looking like $1 million, right? They are all wearing suits and ties, and that is the gear they fight in. They're out looking for a fight.
They roll underground with that stuff on. Like they don't got to take their jackets off, their ties off, and they're good to throw down anywhere.
But that was a cool sequence because I was watching this and I'm like seeing all the fighting on the outside of the ring. Like, okay, we're gonna see a big Keith Lee spot, and we got to see a big Keith and Drew spot where they both did tope con heroes over the top. So
yeah, John DeConnie said that Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre they got into it more and more as the show went on. Keith Lee kept on getting in his face and then kept putting his hand in his face and.
Yeah, they were first they were grumbling backstage at each other, then they were rumbling backstage, and then it continued to the ring. But what an ending to the show! Those two put on a very nice truncated match that you weren't quite sure how it was going to go. Are you really going to see this upstart pin the champion to get the shot at the title if Randy's not ready to go? But they did what I kind of figured they would do, and I think was the right thing to do. Retribution interferes again, and like Ryan said, you get the Hurt Business coming out looking like the New Age Horsemen. And I got to be honest with you, I popped hardcore watching those dudes start peeling off those jackets and coming down to take care of business. That was very, very well done.
It was reminiscent to me. There was at one point. During the invasion all those years ago. And the Alliance was in the ring. It was actually right where it first started. I think it was probably still just WCW back then or whatever. Kurt Angle's music hit, the crowd went nuts for it. I never heard him get shivered, but I kind of caught like, I want Kurt to kick Booker T's ass right now. Like, this is like, I got caught like, I can't believe I'm rooting for Kurt Angle right now. Like, this is, I always loved him. I thought he was great, but like, he was never the good guy up until that point. But then it's just fast forward, to modern day. We're going to talk about it next week because we have the Clash of the Champions Gold Rush is next weekend. We're going to make our picks next week for it. They already had the graphics set up for Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee in an ambulance match, along with the Randy. I don't know what they're doing with this. I don't know where they're going with this. Kind of have an idea, but I just like, why are you? The graphics already. They didn't need to show that graphic, and now I'm confused. Now I don't know what's going on. So we have to tune in next Monday night to find out what's going on in an ambulance match and who Drew McIntyre is facing. Got a funny feeling it's going to be both of them. But there was a cage match that night, last night as well. Took 2 curb stomps to put down Dom Mysterio. So Seth did get the win. Man, Buddy Murphy. Man, John DeConnie.
Yeah, poor fella just can't get out of his own way. Accidentally slams the cage door on the Messiah's face, and then he got his receipt very quickly at the end of that match when it looked like Rollins was coming over for, it's okay, it worked out fine in the end, and no, instead he got some lumps.
Yeah, and he took 2 hard ones backstage before the match even started. But Ryan Joy, I'm watching it this morning. Unfortunately, living where I do in northern New Jersey, the Giants took precedent over my TV last night. So it's probably gonna be Tuesday Morning Raw for the next 17 weeks or 16 weeks or so. But I'm sitting there watching the match. We didn't talk about it last week because it wasn't advertised. I'm kind of thinking, like, what would be a really good swerve right here? Why is Ray's daughter all of a sudden around? Why is it? What's her name? Aaliyah. Why is it? Imagine she joins Rollins. Like, I'm waiting for that swerve in the cage where Aaliyah just kind of slips. They're slipping kendo sticks into each other. The daughter is the one that goes with, she's the one that turns out of all of them. But it actually ended up being that she actually showed Murphy some sympathy at the end. So she's going to get involved, right?
Yeah. Maybe she'll be the person who creates a bridge between the Mysterio family and Murphy. Or not. Maybe Seth Rollins will bring her over. That's kind of an interesting open question. Right? Are we going to get Murphy versus Rollins? Are we going to get Murphy versus Ray? What's happening? What's happening here? Does Ray's wife join Rollins? Does Ray? What happens here? It's kind of. I've been ready for a period on this story for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's going to evolve, and I think an evolution will help.
I think Batista's retired, but.
Ric Flair will be happy to come back.
Maybe it'll be fun. Like I said, I'm trying to find excuses for Aaliyah Mysterio to join Raw. Not like this whole thing with Murphy is like a swerve, and like Rollins like, okay, she fell for it. Let's get her. Like this whole thing just to show sympathy. He's using Murphy, and Murphy's a part of it. There's a lot you can do with this. As long as everybody keeps their eyes in their sockets, everyone's good to go, I think. But this has been going on for a while. With Hell in the Cell next month. Is it going to keep going? Is Ray back in time? I don't know. John DeConnie, did you know that Drew McIntyre does not like to wear underpants? And that's how the Claymore was born.
I suppose if I put any thought into it, I could have guessed, but I tried to keep my thoughts away from Drew McIntyre's crotch at all times.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. But he's Scottish. Piper never wore anything under that kilt. As far as I don't know. That's what I was told. So that makes sense to me.
I bought it, sure.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley defeated Eric of the Viking Raiders with a full Nelson. Looks like Ivar's going to have surgery. Unfortunately, the fix is broken cervix or something. I still don't get that injury. There was a Raw Women's Championship match last night. Like I said, we go from fixing one messed up ending. Mickie James was not able to continue.
I don't know what happened. Mickie James looked surprised at herself. I don't know if maybe we were writing the show as it was going, and there was somebody in the ref's ear saying, "Hey, we got to end this match so I can send Zelina Vega out." I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, that was weird, and it's unfortunate because she even said at the end, this might be the last chance I have at the Raw Women's Championship, and it was an emotional thing, and you figured she wasn't going to win. Maybe they give it to her for 2 weeks so she can walk down the aisle at the Clash with it just to give it back. There's a couple things that went through my head. None seemed reasonable, but the one thing that wasn't really, this is her last. She just got robbed of her last ever Raw Women's Championship because now here comes Zelina Vega, John DeConnie. Yeah. And Zelina's done. She's done babysitting Andrade and Angel Garza. She wants a shot at Asuka.
Yeah, well, to roll back just a couple seconds there, as I was doing my last minute homework, trying to see if there were any new breaking rumors or news, I did see an article that said, I guess Mickey sold one of the last moves so well that someone watching on a monitor went to the ref's ear and said, just call it a match. So it wasn't Asuka or Mickey's fault, and it wasn't necessarily the referee's fault. It was someone in the ref's ear, and because it wound up looking so botched on TV, apparently they are going to run it back one more time, let those two have the match that we had hoped for, because that match was less than I would have expected out of both of them from start to finish. I actually kind of thought maybe Mickie James had taken a bad bump early in the match, because it just I expected something really crisp from those two. Yeah. And that match, even without the bad ending, I didn't think was great. So I'm really excited that it looks like they're going to get to do it at least one more time.
I thought there was a lot of back and forth with that match. I was kind of actually happy with that match. But I guess I'm the easy critic here. And by the way, John, that's shame on you for reading internet articles.
Oh.
Nick Aldis put on a tweet that morning, and he said, when Mickey wins the Raw Championship tonight, we'll start the 20 Pounds of Gold podcast. So
nice.
We'll give another shot at
that. And for Steve Kroger, here's what happened on the rest of Raw. The Street Profits won the Champions match against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura after Angelo Dawkins, not Montez Ford, it was Angelo Dawkins that hit the splash, the cash-out splash on Cesaro for the win. Kevin Owens defeated Aleister Black with a stunner, which I was excited for that matchup. That pair I got excited for, but yes, put these two in there. I apologize for fasting forward. I'm gonna be running low on time. The lights flickered. Aleister Black got distracted, stunner, and done. Look for that to get run back as well. The Riot Squad defeated Natalya and Lana, and that was the match. That was their final tune-up match for Night of Champions. They will be challenging Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax at Night of Champions for the Tag Team Championship. And then Braun Strowman showed up, and this is not the quarterly thing or whatever. He just wanted to fight in Raw on the ground. Shane wasn't going to stop him. Shane was excited to see him. He went in there, but apparently Shane did something very Raw Underground, like stopped a fight and was going to wait to promote it for next week. So we're going to get Braun Strowman and Dabba-Kato. The two big hots. You can see Strowman the entire time was in there. You can see Dabba-Kato in the back of the TV. I'm like, okay, this is going to be nuts. This is going to be nuts. And then they, to be continued. Kind of like a draw in an Iron Man match. And then the other WWE program, rewind from Monday to Friday and layeth the smacketh down. We started the show with Paul Heyman, and I thought he slipped up the first time he said it, but now I get the pun. The reigning and defending Universal Champion Roman Reigns. They shot a nice little promo. Again, Heyman talk. Jey Uso came out. He said his thing. Then here comes Corbin, and here comes Sheamus crying nepotism. That Jey Uso was put in the triple threat match last week for an injured Big E. It was supposed to be 4. They took out E to make it 3, and then they wanted to keep it that way, but they put Jey Uso in as well. Then they put a tag team match for the end of the night. Jey Uso kind of booked that one, John DeConnie. You're kind of smiling. Jey Uso, he did everything he wanted. And then here, Roman just cleaned up the match. Nice little tag, a nice little love tap for his cousin. It wasn't one of those smacks. It was kind of, I'm in, spear, done.
Yes, I thought it was a nice tip of the cap to the old SmackDown GM there. That that you have a problem in the opening segment, we're gonna have a tag team match, player. And Jay Uso put that one together, and pardon me, and then almost got to finish it up, but Cuz shows up, wrecks everyone, and wins or leaves or whatever, and then they had that moment of uncomfortable togetherness at the top of the ramp where Cuz raised the belt and the champion's arm, and then they just kind of peered at each other like, I don't know about you right now. So it's gonna be interesting going forward, seeing exactly what they do with this.
Yeah, so next week we're gonna have to pick this week's. Now I got a couple wild ideas on my head, Ryan. We'll save those for next week's show. For our picks for the Clash of Champions. But Ryan, another match that was booked for the Clash of Champions. First off, the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, she came out saying she was using Sasha the whole entire time. Great. But then there was a fatal four-way match where the winner got the challenge, gets the challenge Bayley at Clash of Champions. And then you look at the graphic, like, okay, she fought her at Money in the Bank. She fought her at this. She's already run through. She's on her second time around the SmackDown Women's Division, Ryan. Who was your pick for that match? Do you remember in your head who you had in that match?
I don't think I picked somebody. I think.
Okay.
I mean, so Nikki Cross comes out with the win. So we see Bayley, Nikki, 12 or whatever it is at this point.
And then during the match, John DeConnie, Alexa Bliss was in that match, and that was a very, very I'm not crying at all. That was an impressive Sister Abigail that Alexa Bliss hit on Nikki Cross.
Yes, she went down deep, gave her the little peck on the cheek, and ripped her around, and very well done. And then we got to see her walk off in a trance as we came back from commercial.
Yeah,
and it gave Nikki a chance to get a little rest. As the other two fought for another 5 to 7 minutes before she would come in and get her victory. So, what's going on with Alexa? What happens now with Nikki? Is Nikki going to lose again to Bayley? And then at what point? At that point, is she not officially buried in the women's division?
That word is so overused. I was literally poking fun at wrestling fans, and then you just bring it up that somebody getting buried. There's no you can always somebody loses, you can make them win the next week and it's over. Like look at Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. They got buried by the Rascals. Well, you know what? They're probably going to be tag team champions in a couple weeks. We'll get to them in a little bit. But yeah, so that match is signed. We'll get into our predictions for Bayley and Nikki Cross next week as they're having, I believe, their third or fourth match in the last 2 months.
I think it's 3.
SmackDown Women's Championship. AJ Styles defeated Jeff Hardy via disqualification in an Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn interfered because he was upset that obviously it's his not title on the line. This better get booked as a ladder match. They're saying that every championship must be defended. If this is on the SmackDown before and it's still like I don't know. I give up on the Intercontinental Championship ever being on a pay-per-view ever again. Otis defeated John Morrison again with a Vader bomb. And then again, Miz stole the contract. Says he has lawyers. He said the week before that you can't do it this way, but apparently he has lawyers. John, if it's for me, I'm not here, pal. It's probably Tyler looking for some answers. He outsmarted Miz and Morrison again. He kept the contract, and I guess in the big briefcase they had the wrong lunchbox. Otis is having fun at their expense, but then on Talking Smack Saturday morning, Ryan Joy, Miz pulled a little bit of a coup. I don't know if this was him or he just made the announcement, but Mandy Rose gets traded to Raw.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? It opens up some possibilities here. Are we Maybe Otis leaves with the briefcase. I don't think there's any rule that says he has to challenge Roman Reigns.
No, he doesn't, and I think that's the loophole there to get him out of that Fiend, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, all that whole mess that was just going on. But this is a little genius of Miz. He kind of went a little below the belt, John DeConnie. If he was the one responsible for getting Mandy Rose traded, if he can't beat Otis, might as well hit him in the heart, right?
Exactly. I mean, is there any more heel tactic in the history of heel tactics than I can't outsmart you and steal your contract, so I'm gonna make your girlfriend go away? I mean, come on. I hate The Miz, but stuff like that makes me love The Miz. I just love that character.
If this is a Miz and Morrison thing like that, this is absolute genius on their part. I know it's storyline, whatever, but if this is, kayfabe, if this is The Miz, what a jerk. And then some unfortunate news. We do have the sad displeasure of reporting that Pasquale, the persevering parrot, did not make it. Bray Wyatt forgot to cut holes in the box. We could not persevere without air. Nice little play on words and some jokes from Bray Wyatt in the Funhouse. I appreciated that. I was laughing actually, said the persevering parrot. I'm like, he's not coming out. But we did get Wobbly Walrus. Looks vaguely familiar. So it seems that Wobbly Walrus guy. Let's say he looked vaguely familiar, and it looks like Bray Wyatt is not giving up on his pursuit of regaining his Universal Championship. Kind of giving away the ending doing this from the Roman Reigns Jey Uso match, aren't you? I mean, I guess we kind of know Roman's going to win, but still, like, anyway.
Oh, you're not picking Jey Uso in that match?
What's that?
You're not picking Jey Uso in that match?
What are the odds? I guess the quote Han Solo never tell me the odds, right? John DeConnie, we are going to go to your neck of the woods. Finally, the theme song can ring true once more. Impact owns the night. No more
Epic.
Super Tuesdays from NXT. They can go back to their originally scheduled feud with AEW Dark. I know they got a half a bit of problem with the NWA starting at 9 o'clock. But they own the night again. No more Super Tuesday from NXT and championship matches up the wazoo. They opened the show with Alicia Edwards. I always say her name wrong. Alicia Edwards interrupted Eric Young on behalf of her husband, Eddie. Eric Young went to pile driver, as only Eric Young does. And then Tommy Dreamer came out to save Alicia Edwards. Cut it again. Tommy Dreamer with the promos lately. He's still that same guy with the heartfelt. And you kind of just want to go in the battle with him. Telling Eric Young to end his career. Have any type of match you want. And they did it later on that night. It was old school rules. And again, a hockey mask into a pile driver got Tommy Dreamer, John DeConnie.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we saw a heck of a back and forth. We saw a lot of pie sheets and signs and a table set up in the corner and all kinds of plunder. And in the end, it was the old eye gouge, hockey mask to the skull, and a pile driver. Oh, and then afterwards, EY being EY goes after the ankle, and oh my goodness, we've got a surprise guest.
Yeah, Ryan Joy. Is he still retired? Here, all night long. Yeah, Lionel Richie was in my head the entire time. He was hobbling down that aisle to save Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, Baltimore's own.
Yeah. Yes, Baltimore's own. He's a Baltimore guy. Baltimore.
Yeah, no, he'll be making his way to the Impact Zone tonight, so we'll see.
Yeah, Rich Swann. He said he's still in the wall.
And Al just threw himself off the show.
This is not the first time.
He'll get it back.
And I love how we have to look around the eyes.
So anyway, Ryan.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, and now he's muted.
And apparently, you're not supposed to hit the right click button.
You went the way of Rich Swann there.
Yeah, I know. I was not going all night long. Apparently, I was getting cutting myself off my own
Retired
show.
and then came back.
So a fun, John DeCon, fun NXT, fun Impact Tag Team Championship match. We'll get into the match first, and then we'll cut to Ryan for the afterward shenanigans. But great match. The Machine Guns and the Rascals. Every week, sure, I'm in.
Yeah, absolutely. And the machine, every week the Machine Guns kind of pull out something a little bit new. They finished that one with what I guess could be best described as a two-winged angel. A two-man, stick 'em driver there, and I mean, Jesus, play this as many times over and over as you want because I can't get enough of it, especially the Machine Guns.
Yeah, I have written down on my notes, great double teams by the Machine Guns on Wentz's knees. They just worked him over. Wentz probably stayed in bed on Wednesday, and that was tough. But then here comes the hashtag bleep show, Ryan Joy. Here comes the North. Then here comes Madman and Ace, and then here comes the Good Brothers. And the funny thing is, you see, you got 4 teams right there. You got the Machine Guns, and then you got the North who want their belts back. You got Madman and Ace, whatever. And then the Good Brothers came to So I'm kind of thinking, like, man, the Rascals, man, they just got figured out of this real quick. And then here they come. So they jump on the button. We got a 5-team bleep show, Rye.
Yeah, and it's so that I think what they're trying to show us is, hey, we've got a pretty deep. AEW is not the only show with a deep tag team division. Here we got 5 teams in one angle. We got another whole set of matches. We got Triple XL versus Deaners, so we got a deep division too.
Yeah,
and they do. Look at those teams. Those teams are good. Machine Guns, Rascals, the North. I know Ace Austin, Madman Fulton just thrown together, but they're going to be a force. It's a deep division.
It is, and we're going to see 4 of those 5 teams tonight, Rye.
Yep.
We got the North teaming up with Madman Fulton and Ace Austin going against the Machine Guns and the Rascals. The Good Brothers are the odd team out here. You got save them for the big shows, right? They don't need to be in this debacle. Ryan, who you got?
Well, seeing that both of these 4-team units are undefeated at this stage, I'm going to go with the bad guys, the North. I'm not picking against them.
All right, John the Con, who you got?
Yeah, give me the heels because if they're going to stay consistent, which I know is taking a big leap of faith talking about impact and consistency, but if they're going to stay consistent, the heels will take this one, maybe even lump them up after the match, and then you got the Good Brothers who can come in for the save, and you've got all 5 involved again.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ace Austin with the pin. Like I said, they took that straight up loss to the Rascals. I think they need something back here. They need some kind of receipt for taking a clean loss there. And like I said it earlier in the show. They're my pick to beat the Machine Guns. Give me Ace Austin and Madman Fulton the rest of the way to maybe set up them against the Good Brothers again at Slammiversary. That's where I'm going with that.
I don't think the Good Brothers are going to discriminate, though. I think they'll just beat up anybody who's in the ring.
Good point.
That's possible too. It's possible too.
Yep.
TJP and Chris Bay with an absolutely amazing match. Sensut roll up for the pinfall is how it ended. I'm not sure how it ended it that way, but still, again, every week, why not? Give me the Machine Guns versus the Rascals, and then give me TJP versus Chris Bay. I'm all in. Actually, we don't even have the graphic for it. The match was just added right before we went on air. We got TJP versus Trey of the Rascals. Knee-jerk reaction. John DeConnie, did you know about this? We did not.
I did not. No, I heard about it in Gorilla Position from you good folks. And you make me on the spot pick it. Give me TJP again.
Yeah, I love how Trey's getting mixed into this. If you got Trey and Chris Bay and TJ Pay with Rohit Rajay. Ryan, who do you got?
TJ.
That's a nice fatal 4-way. There you go. See how I was going somewhere.
Yeah. I think it's TJP, he got one big win last week. Build him, keep building him, and let him get that title shot at Bound for Glory.
Yep.
It's a long time between now and then, I know, but
yeah, I say it's like another 6-7 weeks, right?
yeah, feels like months.
Yep.
It is.
Brian Myers. Brian Myers, kudos to Brian Myers. He actually competed in the match last week and won against Willie Mack. He didn't do his calisthenics. He didn't do his spray tanning. And he didn't get the oil up. It was an on-the-spot match for Brian Myers. Kudos to him for overcoming those odds. And he defeated Willie Mack. What did he do? Yeah, low blow followed by an impaler DDT. They're going to go at it one more time. Now that Myers has a full week to prepare. Myers is up 2-0 in the series here. John Licani, can Willie Mack get a win here?
You know, once again, I feel bad for Willie Mack, but when you're dealing with the most professional wrestler and he's had a full week to plan, I mean, last week he pulled out a DDT that was, dare I say, glorious. How do you not pick him this week too?
And Miss Bobby. Ryan Joy, who do you got?
Willie Mack is on a 5-match losing streak. He went 9-0, and now he's 9-5. I think
Chris
he's
Bay twice, and now Brian Myers twice. Right? Who's the fifth one against?
Chris Bay twice. Brian.
Oh, the tag team match that got Chris Bay the match. Okay, I got you. So Chris Bay 3 times.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm going Myers.
Yeah, no reason to go against Brian Myers right now. This isn't WWE either. I don't know if they have buyback wins, as I call them. One guy wins one week, the other guy wins the other week, so nobody gets buried. And
something struck a nerve with Al.
you know why? Try being a fan of this guy your entire life. That's why I'm so thinking about it.
There's no one who gets accused of using a shovel more, so I know exactly why that hit a chord.
You guys sorry, I'm not doing this anymore. Let's see, there's a Knockouts tag team match. They were doing an interview with Kylie Ray and Susie after their first week back in the Impact Zone from Wrestle House. Was interrupted by the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo and her associate Kimber Lee. So they're going to go at it in a tag team match. Kylie Ray is the #1 contender after her win at Slammiversary. Hope that kind of plays out to to Bound for Glory. That'd be awesome. But Ryan, before I take this graphic down, promote your boys.
Yeah, I Draw Wrestlers has been doing all these Impact wrestlers that you see that are illustrated, but all done by I Draw Wrestlers. You can see them on Instagram and Facebook.
Alrighty. So, John Connie, our senior Impact correspondent. I don't believe I gave you your official title for this show yet. You are our Impact guy. Yeah, you own the night, John DeConnie. Who do you got?
You know what? Since Kimber Lee is in this match to take the pinfall for Deonna, I'm going to go with Kylie Ray continuing on her roll.
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Deonna with the win, but you're exactly right. Ryan Joy.
I like Kylie Ray in this match. I think that unit is going to win, but look for slowly Susie turning into Su Yung, and what's that impact of that going to be on the future title shot or challenger afterwards? So,
yeah, there's she got some blood on her hands at the end of Wrestle House, Ryan. I think I think the Undead Bride is not too far behind. Coming up. I
thought she was the one who stole the Diener's beer, but
nope, it was crazy. Steve couldn't read the label.
I lost the office pool on that one.
Ty Valkyrie had a match. She had a run-in due to the wedding planning for Johnny Bravo and for Rosemary. Taya wants to take control of the whole thing. Tasha Steelz and Kiara Hogan telling Johnny to step up, man, up playing your own wedding, which kind of just I don't get that one. I figured the women will want to have the major part of it. I know I let my wife plan pretty much the majority of the 3 that we had to plan due to the COVID circumstances. But then during the match, you can notice Bravo was on the phone the entire time with the wedding. Taya got the win still after the road to Valhalla. But you got to wonder if this is going to be an ongoing theme. And we have Ty Valkyrie going up against Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steele's tag team partner. You're probably going to see it again. One of these times it's going to bite him. It's going to bite him in the you know what, and it's going to cost Taya a match. And then Bleep's going to hit the fan, Ryan Joy.
Yeah, I think eventually, yeah. But you may have let your wife plan the majority of your wedding, but you didn't let some other random woman plan the wedding. So I'm still picking Taya Valkyrie in this match. I'm anxious for Taya to get back on track and have another strong singles run. So I'm picking her.
Taya's got some great ideas, though, John DeConnie. Ice sculptures, I believe she was saying. As a guy who loves ice as much as I do, Taya's got some spot-on ideas. Who do you got for the match?
Yeah, you know what? Give me Kiera Hogan here, just for the pure entertainment value of the reckoning that Bravo will face if he's on the phone again for the whole match.
Yeah, I'll go. We'll do that. We'll do Kiera Hogan. Then there's gonna have to be the tag team match next week. I'll throw that prediction where Rosemary's gonna get involved, and then maybe she's gonna be on the phone too. That's what's gonna happen. There you go. So I'm gonna go Taya Valkyrie tonight. Then next week Rosemary's gonna kind of cut off because Bravo's gonna need her help with something on the phone and completely hang Taya out to dry. That's how that's gonna go. All right, so we're gonna go Taya Valkyrie tonight though. Here we go. Heath needs some more money for campaigning that Rhino is going to go get, most likely from Hernandez. So here we go again with Rhino and Hernandez, which is not getting old to me. It's not pretty, but I love it. I think it's absolutely great that Rhino and Hernandez had this feud over arm wrestling and money and whatnot. It's pretty good. We have a new talk show starting tonight. John DeConnie will leave you out of this conversation. Actually, we're just going to fast forward right through it. Rob Van Dam has the whole effing show starting tonight. So we have this conversation. Let's just it's going to be more of Katie Forbes talking than Rob. That's what we're kind of thinking here. So let's just hope that we're wrong. But then again, I guess it's going to be a hit show because if you're going up against Locker Room Talk and the ratings, I guess that's what's this is really going to be that hard.
That's the highest rated segment in all of Impact Wrestling.
I think we have more viewers than Locker Room Talk does. We have one more match to get to real quick. Ryan Joy, you can make your first pick on this one because you just mentioned it briefly. We have the rematch from probably one of the greatest Wrestle House segments there was in the grand finale episode. We got Triple XL going against the Teeters.
Just kind of surprised me when I ran the tag rankings or the tag records on these. Triple XL has a Triple XL bad win-loss record, and the Deaners are undefeated. I'll go the Deaners.
Yeah, is it the Deaners? I guess I will say if you got the win. I
didn't count
at
it.
Wrestle House. They got the Fuji in. I know cousin Jake got the Fuji in.
Yeah.
John DeConnie, who do you got? I'm gonna go with the Deaners. I like the Deaners. They're fun.
Give me Triple XL just for the fun of it. As a fellow fat man.
All right. Impact does own their night back. Last week they didn't. Last week they had to deal with night 2 of Super Tuesday in NXT, where I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Finn Balor, he joins a very exclusive club, becoming a 2-time NXT champion, along with Samoa Joe and along with Shinsuke Nakamura. You got the 1916, Ryan. You're shooting the guys. I'll go with you this way. You got the 1916, or I guess some kind of variation of that DDT, off the top rope for the win after they each kicked out of each other's finishers.
Yeah, the whole match I thought was pretty good, and then You build to that point where Finn Balor is hurt. He climbs the ropes. Adam Cole comes after him. 1916, some sort of DDT suplex maneuver for the win. All good. I'm ready for the Balor era. Balor versus Walter. Take over.
Yeah, champion versus champion. We might see that. War Games is coming up. I don't know. Maybe if you can get Imperium. I know 2 guys are already here. We'll get to them in a second. Wolf and Walter, I still believe, are overseas. The War Games is coming up. We got to start making some War Games predictions, Survivor Series predictions. We're gonna have a little bit of fun in the next coming weeks. Those are my two of my favorite shows. But afterwards, John DeConnie, Adam Cole showing face tendencies here.
Yeah, he gave a nod. He said that the better man won. It won't happen the same way, when they meet again. But he gave him a little too sweet backstage, and then called him the better man tonight. So maybe right now he's not in full D-bag mode, but you never know. It's always just around the corner, right, for the UE.
Yeah, Finn Balor's in the too sweet. They can do that to each other. Finn Balor was the original leader of the Bullet Club. He is an original member. He is the original leader. Later on down the line, Adam Cole was the leader of, the Ring of Honor division of the Kenny Omega run Bullet Club, and it was over in Japan when they actually had this spread. I believe Cole had control of the Bucks and Marty Scurll over stateside in Ring of Honor's version. Of the collective unit. It was all one group. But, it'd be interesting to see. I said tune in tomorrow night to see where we're going to go. I'm sure Finn Balor's going to come out first. And I don't know if it's going to be Cole. I don't know if it's going to be Ciampa. I don't know who's next. His first challenger is going to be, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. There was a steel cage match on NXT last week as well. We had 2 cage matches between last night on Raw, between El Hijo de Mysterio and Seth Rollins. Last Wednesday, we had Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez. That was John DeConnie just as good, if not better, than Dom and Seth.
I'd say it was better. Yeah, sure. I mean, you had the gals bringing plunder into the cage with them. The Mercedes came down with a kendo stick and dug a couple of chairs out. So not to be outdone, Rhea dragged a table in before the match even started. So, good stuff.
Yeah, and that table was what was Mercedes Martinez's end fall. She took the riptide through a table off the top rope.
Yeah,
Dry and joy.
Yeah, glad to see the main event too. They had a world title match to start the show, and then they ended with the steel cage show between the 2 women. Good match, period on the feud, I think, and we'll see where we go from here.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley, is she officially done with the Roberts? I mean, that feud was just way too short, though. I mean, that's how long have Dom and Seth been going on? And we get Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like this.
I don't know. I feel like it's over though, but I don't see Rhea Ripley immediately going to Io Shirai. So
no, this is going to War Games. Can you stretch these 2, Team Mercedes versus Team Ripley in War Games? Can we do this?
Be worth a shot.
That's a long time. We were just saying how long we're going to go Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory 7
yeah, that's right.
On another 4 after that for War. Yeah. That might be too far. Bronson Reed defeated Austin Theory after Tsunami Splash from the top. I like the name of that. I think they very well done. It was actually kind of funny. Theory went for his ATO. He tried to lift up. You see his legs wobbling under him like he couldn't hold it. I thought that Austin Theory, you know what? Thinking about it now, hindsight's 2020. We all had Austin Theory. At least most of us did. He's still got to get punished. I guess he just got demoted. He was suspended. Apparently, SpongeBob suspended him. I guess he's got to pay his dues before he gets back up on top again. Going back to the Robert Stone brand, Robert Stone actually found Shotzi's tank in the back. The bane of his existence is Shotzi Blackheart's tank. Shotzi confronted Stone about it. Then Shotzi gets jumped by Alita, who accidentally bumps into the NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai. They spill over into the ring. And here we go. It ends up, they gang up on Aaliyah and Robert Stone. But then they kind of look at each other. Shotzi kind of gave Io a look, say, okay, here we go. I want a piece of I want to shout out the title. It's not a title match right now, but they're going to go at it tomorrow night in a non-title match. Like I said, NXT, they don't keep track of the records. I don't think this is an FTR case. Maybe Shotzi does pull some kind of miracle win here at Earl Town shot, John DeConnie.
Yeah, maybe even Robert Stonebrand tries to get involved and accidentally costs Io the match or something like that. Something to give them a reason to then do it for the title, I suppose.
Yeah, Ryan Joy, like I said, Robert Stone's he's gonna play a factor into this.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Io Shirai wins with some outside help from Robert Stone. Not that she's requesting the help, but it's just gonna be something that happens.
Yeah, the champ's undefeated. I mean, I'll stay with her right now for staying undefeated, but if you have people like Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox and all these, top-notch women, they can't beat Shirai. And then Shotzi's going to do it? I just feel like that's a little – and that's not a shot on Shotzi yet. I just feel like she's new and she's just not – I don't know. I just don't put her on the same level as Tegan and Dakota right now.
What this could be Shotzi showing that she can go.
Yeah.
Then we look forward to a title match down the road.
Staying in the women's division, dinner at the Garganos didn't go as we thought, John DeConnie. Like I said, I thought Tegan was going to be in trouble the entire night. I'm like, she's going to get crushed. She's going to get crushed. It just turned into a food fight, and actually they had reconciled right up until the end. And then she's like, all right, here's cheers to, Candice is like, cheers to me winning the NXT Women's Championship. And Tegan's like, no, that's not going to happen. And let the food fight begin. So they're going to go right back at it, put those two in the ring. I'm actually extremely looking forward to that. That match is going to be out of control. I don't care if it's for a title or not. That match is going to be amazing. Roderick Strong defeated Killian Dane with a jumping knee. Took one jumping knee to take down Killian Dane after interference or distraction from Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era. I figured it would have taken a little bit more to take down Killian Dane. But then Drake Maverick tried to come out for a save as well, and he got slapped or punched for his efforts again by Killian Dane. I think eventually those two are Drake's going to keep coming at him. It's going to be kind of funny. But we actually have two titles going into tomorrow night. They're going right back on Wednesday into the Wednesday Night Wars. They're going guns a-blazing. Like I said, two title matches. The first one, Imperium is getting a rematch for the NXT Tag Team Championships against our beloved champions of Breezango. Hey, everybody, look, it's Tyler. Again, we will put up Tyler's Twitter address later. Not Tyler Breeze, but Tyler Dell to help him out. But, Ryan, we need an updated graphic with the championship belt here. They're going to defend. I got Breezango. You got to update your graphics here.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm going to go Breezango here. It just doesn't make sense for them to drop the belts right away with no defenses.
Yeah, the only thing I would say that would work for Imperium's favor is exactly what Gary said at the top of the show. If you got Walter as champ, you got Imperium as a different brand's tag champ, but they still have gold. And then somehow Alexander Wolf wins that tournament for the Heritage Cup. And then John DeConnie, Imperium's looking pretty good.
Yeah, you've got a new we got all the gold scenario going on.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to stick with Breezango because, I mean, for the love of God, they're not Sasha Banks.
Yet to be proven.
And then speaking of somebody else making their first title defense, I guess we're going to keep taking shots at Sasha Banks. Damian Priest is actually going to be putting up his newly won North American Championship against Timothy Thatcher. John Smith is probably watching this right now. He's been chiming in all night. I just put the one comment up. He called me out for saying Lucha Express, so I didn't want to, promote that. But this is the match that he wants. I don't know who he would take. I feel like he wants Thatcher deep down, but I got a funny feeling it's Damian Priest would be his pick. It's going to be my pick. Maybe not a clean win, maybe some kind of disqualification. I feel this going deeper than tomorrow night, John DeConnie.
Yeah. I think they're setting up Damian Priest to, not that Thatcher's a good guy by any means, but I feel like they're giving Damian kind of a sleazy kind of feel to him. You know, he's hitting on the interviewer last week and taking her into the hot tub, and that's his celebration after every match. So
Yeah.
I think Priest wins here, and by almost maybe not heel tactics, but like I don't know, there's no good feel to his title run right now. There's a little weird.
No, he's the anti-hero. It's like like I said, he kind of went face over that during that loss to Finn Balor, but I don't think he really changed who he was. He's just fighting bad guys now. Ryan Joy.
Yeah, Priest. I mean, I agree. It seems like you have a little John Smith heel on heel action here. That's what it feels like. But I like Thatcher. I think it could be a good match, but I think Priest.
Yeah, and I think Thatcher would make a great North American champion. I just don't think it's going to be tomorrow night.
Yep.
It's just way too soon after that huge monumental win by Damian Priest at NXT TakeOver. So that will do it for NXT, and that will do it for all of the shows. We're going to wrap it up real quickly at the hour 45 mark again. I tried. I felt good throughout the entire show. Still can't do it. Real quick, as you mentioned Sasha Banks, and forgot to give the shout out last week. The interview right before the match, the Women's Tag Team Championship match where Sasha and Bayley were going, that interview was conducted by Elise Ashton. For those who don't know, Local Girl Gone Good. She is the former in-game host for the New York Islanders. And I gave her credit. Those two had an ongoing feud. No, they were waiting, and it took Elise Ashton's hard-hitting questions, tough nose reporting, to finally put the nail in those two coffins. So Elise Ashton, congratulations. You were the one that broke up the greatest women's tag team of all time with the greatest women's feud of all time. And she got a hard-hitting question. She interviewed AJ Styles this past Friday on SmackDown. She's not screwing around. Somebody put a fun tweet that she is the April O'Neil of Friday Night SmackDown. So good for her. Close the show. Here we go. We got number 28 coming up on my WrestleMania favorite match. And I said I was watching this smiling while we were in pre-production on mute, so I didn't actually give it away. A set of the show spoiler. This is episode 19 of EWP. This match is actually from WrestleMania 19. I believe this is the only time that this is a coincidence. Probably not the match you think of, but it's going to be the match you're going to see like, oh, that's right, that match was awesome. The WWE Tag Team Championship triple threat match between Team Angle, the Guerreros, and the unlikely team of Chris Benoit and Rhino. This match was just everything you could possibly want. All six guys in their prime in 2003 at a baseball stadium in Safefield Field. Team Angle just in the company, not even a month and a half. They won the belts right away, walked into Safefield Field, and I believe the match ended. Rhino was in the ring, speared both speared both Charlie Haas and Chavo Guerrero, but then Shelton Benjamin was actually the legal man. He came in and pinned Chavo after the Gore for the win. The Guerreros, we know, are an amazing tag team. Both Chris Benoit and Rhino missed the WrestleMania prior 18 due to neck surgeries. Everything about that match was just absolutely greatness. It gets forgotten in a lot of the conversations, and I guess rightly so. There's a lot of great matches in WrestleMania history. That one is one of my favorites, though. John DeConnie, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I remember it when it was one of those things you sparked the memory of it, and I remember rooting like you wouldn't believe for Team Angle because not that we were friends or anything, but the Haas brothers were freshmen at Seton Hall with me in '92, so I was all about the world's greatest tag team.
Wow! And they said they were Team Angle at the time. They were in the company for a month and a half. Ryan Joy, you remember how they came in?
No.
They were a gift from Paul Heyman to Kurt Angle.
That's right.
Kurt Angle was with Paul Heyman at that time. And Kurt, I'm going to give you something. We got two collegiate athletes, and as Team Angle was born, I believe it said Kurt, that was his last WrestleMania. He had to go with neck surgery. Team Angle probably, I think they disbanded right after that, became the world's greatest tag team. But that is that story. That was number 28.
W.
What's that?
That was the last time Shelton Benjamin got a W.
Yeah, I think that's his only WrestleMania win. I believe he's 1-6.
And Rhino hasn't aged.
Rhino was a lot thinner back then, though. Rhino was moving around. He was hustling. So, like I said, next week, it'll be number 27. There are now 27 weeks. We're still at 28 weeks. 28 weeks away from WrestleMania 37. For those that actually checked out Sunday Night Football between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams, they did a lot of in-depth looking at SoFi Stadium, the $5 billion complex that hopefully, God willing, WrestleMania 37 will be at that facility. Again, $5 billion. I believe the next most expensive stadium on the list was like 2.1, and I forget which one it was. It wasn't MetLife, but MetLife was top 3, I think. The Raiders place. The Raiders was like 2.1 billion. The Raiders just cracked 2 billion. But where the Rams and the Chargers are playing, $5 billion complex. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. I am excited for WrestleMania, which is now in 28 weeks. Go to minutesthebelltime.com. Subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade weekly newsletter. Ryan does a great job writing it. It's a very enjoyable read. We'll put gotta put that back up. Next week, please come back again. We're going to be episode 20, where it all begins again. Next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Please join us on YouTube on the I-95 Sports Networks and the Blackjack Media Networks. We love having you guys. Please like the show. Please love the show. And again, for anybody that can help out Tyler Adele with his issues, please tweet Tyler with your soothing recommendations. It doesn't have to be prescription. Any type of herbal medicine, anything that you need, please tweet Tyler at his handle right there with the hashtag Tyler's Butt is Burning. Thank you very much for joining us. For Ryan Joy, our senior, you got a lot of titles now, NJPW, Ring of Honor, NWA correspondent. For John DeConnie, our senior Impact correspondent. John Smith will be back next week. Hopefully Tyler will be well. Thank you very much, Gary Mahaffey, for staying up so late over across the pond in England to talk some UK with us. We are so happy to have you. And again, thank you very much for watching. Alexa Bliss, again, I almost never. Alexa Bliss, we love you. Keep doing that, Sister Abigail girl. She is going to be so much fun in the next couple of weeks. John DeConnie, take it away.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Yes, the UK is back, baby!